Hello and welcome. As the temperatures drop in the Midwest, we are looking at homes in Florida. Yes, it's really weird state because for $2 million you think it'd get you a little bit more, but not in Florida. Especially if you're looking to be right on the beach. Those houses are few and far between. If you do find one that is on the beach, you kind of have limited options. What you do have a lot of is these small, tiny houses on small types of land where they cram as many as they can together and are built as quickly as they can with um, no fancy interiors whatsoever. And and that's if you're close to the beach. The other option is they have like these little inlets, and so you have the same deals of houses close together, and a little dock for your boat. So I think we're able to find some good ones, and here we go. So there are some things that were just unique that I haven't really found so far. This one is just a short plane flight down to the Keys. It's located in the Florida Keys, all the way down here, so the very tip of America, just about. And the unique thing about this is that its back alley, if you will, is a private airstrip. And that thing you see there is the garage for your airplane. So here you go. This was just so baller that they have all these houses along this private airstrip, and they have their little garages, and that's just great. And here's the airstrip itself. So private, it says. So it's just awesome. A tremendous amount of trust to the other pilots, by the way, that you can live that close to the airstrip. But it was, the house itself is just not, it's all right, but it's just the idea you have your own private airstrip. You can just fly down to the Keys. It's just wonderful. So that was a heck of a way to start out our Florida trip. Next up is a house in Fort Myers. So this had like, I think, 5 acres, and so that was kind of cool. But the deal about Fort Myers is it's kind of equidistant between Tampa, Clearwater, and Miami. So you could kind of enjoy Fort Myers or go either direction, or go just across the state if you wanted to go to West Palm Beach. So it was kind of in the middle of all that. Now, I don't know why it looks like it's a still house. That has me a little worried. But the inside's kind of plain. The other thing that was frustrating on a lot of the beach homes is, they're just strictly built for rental stuff. So it was kind of like this, just the plainest interiors you could do. Now, this deal is kind of, I've seen it a lot in Florida, and my aunt used to have one too. They put these screened coverings over the pool, and it keeps leaves out, but mostly it keeps all the bugs out, which is a great thing, because not only do you have the mosquitoes and all that, but then the huge cockroaches and everything else, and in a pinch it might keep out alligators and other critters that you don't want, snakes and stuff. So Florida. So there you go. It did have its own urinal, which fancy homes should have urinals. This house was just your getaway house. This was also in the Florida Keys. The problem about the Keys houses, a lot of them, they're so kind of packed in, scrunched, and then it wasn't really close to stuff. So you'd have to drive an island or two over just to get anything, or go to a restaurant. But this is, you don't have direct neighbors, and it was nice. You had an itty bitty little beach all to yourself, and the interior is not too good, but I do like the wood ceiling, and it had some nice views, and it had a hot tub, and it would just be very relaxing. It's just one of these kind of, if you wanted to get away from it all, kind of deal. Yeah, just a little bit of land, but there's not a lot close to it. So if you wanted to have restaurants and stuff, this is not your house. This is your getaway house. So I thought it was pretty cool. The water's not super clear, but still, a beach is a beach is a beach. This one, okay, this one's located north of Tampa, and so the house itself is all right. It's kind of your McMansion mostly, except for this. I just had to see. This is just a conversation piece. Could you? It's like the hot tub is under this huge slab of rock, which has a fountain going, which is a very cool element. So the pool itself is not very big, but it's a cool infinity pool. You can see out to the water, so it's a neat setting. But this is your hot tub. So you have some privacy in here, and it covers you in the rain and the elements. But do you like having a huge rock right above your head? Discuss. Um, Other than that, it was, nothing wrong with it. Your standard kind of McMansion. I do like, it has a big entertainment area, and the windows are very nice. So I get nitpicky about stuff, but any of these homes would be just spectacular. So, but the main thing was just that the funky hot tub. That's why I got thrown in. So, anyway, moving on. This house was located again north of Tampa, and it was kind of a plain on the inside. The inside had a lot of openness to it, which is very nice. They probably remodeled it recently, but I just liked the land that they had for it. It had 9 acres, so I thought there's a lot you could do with that. It had plenty of bedrooms, space. It had this huge barn. I'm a big sucker for big barns and big places to store stuff for. But the thing I just loved, and I think more expensive houses should have this, they have their own baseball diamond, which is just great. So you have all this privacy on all the woods, and they cut out enough to have a baseball diamond and to have a huge barn. So for $1.6 million, you could buy boats and RVs, and you have a place to store them, and it's got a pool, and it's got its own baseball diamond. I don't know. I just think that's awesome. Moving on. This one is just the cutest. So this is any further north than you'd be in Georgia. So it's the really northeast tip of it. But I just thought it was a cute little house, and it's only quote unquote, getting bigger than my house, 1,600 square feet, but it's from the 50s. So this thing has been around. Some of these other little beach homes, they build them so fast you wonder if they'd last any kind of storm. And this thing has seen stuff, and it's been around, and it's just so cute. It's like an OG beach house, and the rooms are kind of small, and I get it, but it's just cool. And I like the little bit of separation from the beach, in hopes that if the water did rise, it wouldn't get to the house. But again, it's been around for so long, they probably figured it out. So very cute, very cute. This one, I love the location, because let me show you. This is just literally around the corner from Universal Orlando. So you could ride a bike easily. If you really wanted to, you could walk, I'm sure. And then all the Universal restaurants and nightclubs and all that goes along with it. Very cool. And then not too far from Disney either. So it was a great combination of that. And the house itself, was your open modern home, big windows. Nothing too spectacular. Had a nice entertainment center. But it was on this cute little lake, and it had good views of the lake. And the pool, it had a little dock, so you could have a small boat or kayaks or whatever. And it's just the pool kind of looked out to the lake. It was a nice little setup. Just well done. I even this only had one edge of infinity pool, but I'm a sucker for infinity pools, and just to have that much, your family could come to Orlando, or you could do all the kind of boating stuff here. It was a nice combination, a good mix. Definitely fun. Oh, and let me see. So next up was another beach house, and this one was located. And I just show this and why I like this one so much. There's so many little restaurants nearby that you could just walk to. You could be a beach bum, walk the beach, and then go up to a restaurant. It was such a good location. There was also grocery nearby, which you kind of take for granted. But if you're going to live in a place for a long time, you'd want a good place to get grocery. But I thought this was just kind of in the middle of all that. It was really cool. The other thing that's unique about it is, so this wasn't exactly on the beach, but it's just like, down the street. And so you don't even have to go through anybody's land. You're just going down the street, and then there's access. So easily walkable. But if the waters did rise a little bit, you'd have some protection. But I like the interior. It's kind of kitschy, 1993. I was gonna say 70s, but look at that. Um, but I appreciate that they put more into it than they had to. It's not just a plain constructor grade house. So I like the balconies to it, and it's just a short walk. So this is, the house is like right here. You just go down the street, there's the beach. So you get the closeness without hopefully the flooding. Next up, this one for a while was the number one house because I like the location of it. It was up here near Clearwater. I like that beach quite a bit, and near Tampa, so you have all that stuff going on with a bigger city. But the house is just kind of fugly. I just thought if I pulled up to this every time, I'd say it's fugly, and I just could not wrap my head around it. And the inside is kind of, they just kind of whitewashed it and just did let's make it safe and gray and neutral. The kitchen's okay. I don't know, it's just a little bit too, But the cool thing about it, this house, it did have like a second kitchen, and I think it had a guest house, and so it had a lot of amenities, and a third kitchen, and so that was kind of you had plenty of area to play. You had this outdoor area, but it had one of the screen covered pools and hot tubs, which was a big deal, in a good sized pool, and it had this big huge barn too, which was a neat feature. So plenty of room to store all your boats and RVs and stuff. And at 1.6 million, you could buy boats and RVs and still keep it under 2 million. But the winter, I just kind of like this house. You look at this and it's just a peaceful scene. I just imagine pulling up to it or having people new to the house pull up to it. Is a very peaceful scene. And the interior, it has the kitchen opens up to the living room. Kind of, you have this open area that it's all connected, and I like the kitchen and the fact of all the counter space. Like when I'm cooking, I can always use more counter space, and this had lots of burners, lots of counter space, and I enjoyed it, and I like it even though it's not the light kitchens of today, and you have the counter eating and this little table or a card table. So it had lots of options. If you're a shoe person, this is the shoe closet for you. It's funny that they featured their shoes more predominantly than the rest of their attire, but this part also got me because this has a stage that was once used by Elvis, and they incorporated it into this room and to the billiard room here. And there's a little plaque about it, and my mom's a big Elvis fan, so that also kind of got me. That was pretty cool. And they have this outdoor sitting area for people, and it's got a basketball, this area to play, so you can play basketball over here. And then the pool is just really fun. They got a big tiki head, which is one thing, and I just love the stonework of everything. The stonework of the hot tub. It's got two pool slides coming out of it, and the waterfall. It's just a fun, relaxing looking zero entry here. They just did a really nice job. Now what I don't like is, hey boo, this tiki bar is kind of plain. It needs to be covered. It needs burners and stuff. So this was a little plain, and they have this also funky little, they call it an area for a dog, but I don't know. But so that is the number one house. So I hope you enjoyed it. Florida was a whole lot of things, and take care. I think there's only like 5 homes left that we haven't seen. So I hope you have a good day or night. Take care.